Okay, y'all, so what I do is I like grab a piece of paper or either a note card like this, and I'll write out the question. What's wrong? What's wrong? My pen tripping. I'm having to hold this pen down. I should have went and got one. I feel so horrible about this. I need something to hold it down. Ugh. And what's wrong is I feel anxious. And just a feeling of, how can I describe it? Just a feeling of being sad. That's what it is. So I feel anxious and sad. What led to this feeling? What led to the feeling? So y'all, that's what I would write next. What led to the feeling? Y'all gonna laugh when you see how I'm writing this. Maybe watching too much of that Fort Worth, Texas accident. I stayed up to 4 o'clock in the morning, just like looking at videos of it and just really feeling sorry for families that lost loved ones. And then I got thinking about my loved ones that got lost. So what triggered, what, you know, instead of saying what led to the feeling, put triggered. What triggered it? And I would say Facebook. That old Facebook. Fort Worth, Texas. I'm praying for those families, by the way. This pen ain't gonna let me do right. Come on, pen, please work. You should not act like this much money I spent to get you. Oh, it's working. Okay, Facebook triggered me. Facebook, Fort Worth, Texas accident. How did it trigger me? Watching the videos over and over. You know how it is, you watch different videos so you can see the different angles. So that's what I was doing. I was watching the different videos. That's my heat coming on. Okay, so what else here? You know, I could have did this a straight out video. I won't thinking. I don't need to really put any edits in this. You're just gonna see my green screen, but that's okay. Okay, how did it trigger me? Okay, watching Facebook videos over and over of the accident. Make sure that you put that detail in there whenever you are filling out your cards. And you, yeah, I would say go ahead and buy you some of these index cards. They're at Walmart for 84 cents. It's worth it versus having to take a pill to calm anxiety down. This is so worth it. Okay, and so the next thing is, how did it trigger? Watching over and over the accident. Okay, so what symptoms have I been feeling? What symptoms am I feeling? You know, right now at the moment that I'm feeling anxious. Oh no, how did it make me feel? Let's do that question. How did it make me feel? So you want to ask these questions according to what you're going through, okay? All these questions will not be the same for you and for me because we go through different issues and we see things in a different light. So these questions may help you and they may not. So how? Oh, don't start that. How did it make me feel? I felt sad. I felt overwhelmed with sadness. I mean, I could cry thinking about it right now. And I am gonna cry. I felt overwhelmed with sadness. Because just in my mind, because I'm so detailed in my mind, Like, what did they feel? Like, that's what runs through my mind. Where did the blood come out? What was the last words? You know, that's just how I've always been, like that. Overwhelmed with sadness and grief. And then I started thinking about my friends and loved ones that I have lost. So I'm writing that down. Because I'm sensitive and I know it, but even when I am mentally tough, I am still sensitive. That's just how God made me. I can be tough and crying at the same time, but I still feel it though, you know. I feel it. And okay, so the sixth thing is, let's see, how did it make me feel? I felt overwhelmed with sadness. Oh, my sleep trying to kick in now. I felt overwhelmed with sadness and grief. And I thought about my friends and loved ones that I've lost since December. So now, the anxiety. Let's get to it. Now that we have the answers to those questions, let's talk about the anxiety itself. So you can write down anxiety itself so that you don't confuse yourself. What thoughts were I having? What were the thoughts? What were the thoughts that I had before the anxiety kicked in? The thoughts that I had was people is dying. And yet, it seems like there's a lot of people that don't care. I was like, am I the only one that care that these people are dying? I felt alone. So that's the thought that I felt alone. That's what probably triggered me. I felt alone. And I felt like no one cared. Y'all, this how the enemy worked. Like, no one cared but me. But you know many people cared. But, you know, sometimes you got to straighten your mind out. Okay. The next thing is, see, now that I'm up and doing something, now my body want to wear down. You see how, so y'all see how anxiety, you can change up your anxiety. Like, you could be sitting there, you know, stressing out, and then all of a sudden, whenever you start writing it out, as it comes out, you start feeling that peace come within. Okay. My thoughts were, I felt alone. And I felt abandoned. I felt abandoned because I started thinking, like, my babies ain't here. My granddaughters ain't here. My children, they come and see me, but, you know, they had to stay outside. It's not like they used to be, when they used to come in and be like, Mom, come to the bed, all that good stuff. I love it when my kids come around me, y'all. I love it. When I hear that horn blow, when they come outside to visit me every day, I jump up like a kid and run to that door. Like, literally. One day, I will show you. Okay. Okay, so the next thing is that we got, I felt alone. I didn't sleep well, so now it's trying to hit. I felt alone and abandoned. What were my physical symptoms? Okay, y'all, so now we finna start making a list. Now, this right here is a list. A list. Physical symptoms. I write like a raggedy doctor. Okay. My physical symptoms was agitated. I was agitated. I would say shortness of breath. And and I would say Kind of like a mental image just stayed in my mind. Mental image. No, that's not a symptom. Symptoms are like sneezing, fast heart rate, dry mouth. I had the dry mouth. I will say that. I had the dry mouth. Dry mouth can be a sign of anxiety too, by the way, y'all. What was another symptom? I couldn't sleep. Restless. Restless is actually not a symptom, but it's a feeling. So you might want to set to the side a list of your feelings. And agitated is a feeling. I felt agitated, restless, lonely. Felt like I could, shortness of breath, and like I couldn't breathe. Okay, what else? I gotta speed this thing up because I don't want to go too long. Okay, I was agitated, restless, lonely. That was my feeling. I felt isolated for some reason. Isolated, like by myself, like really closed in, and I felt trapped. Like trapped and so glued to the phone, you know. Okay. I didn't feel like I was dying, but there was a thought that crossed my mind that I felt like if I didn't go to sleep that I might die. So I felt like, because I couldn't breathe, felt like I couldn't breathe, and so that'll go in there. Okay, so my thoughts were, I hope nobody else dies. Are we gonna die? Are we gonna die? No. Are there gonna be more deaths from corona? Y'all, this is how anxiety works. Also, my thoughts were, will I wake up? Will I wake up in the morning? How Nat get in here? Come on now, the kitchen way in there. And you way up in here. You're supposed to be outside anyway. Okay, will I wake up in the morning? Okay, and I think that's about all the thoughts that I really had that I can really bring up. I mean, that was the main things. I was like hoping that nobody else dies, and I was like, will there be more corona deaths? And will I wake up in the morning, because I felt like I couldn't breathe. Okay, so now when we solve this problem, what could I have done differently last night? If I was talking to somebody and giving them advice on what they could have done if they was in that shape, I would have said, start writing. I say that all the time, and yet I didn't do it last night. And you know, sometimes because anxiety works different for some people. For some people, it leave them just laying there in the bed, and they can't move. They can't go get nothing. You know, they just stuck there until that overwhelm of fear goes away, or that thought that's constantly chasing you. Okay, things I could have done. I could have cut the cold air on or either stood in the door too. That helps me a lot. That's what I could have did. I could have cut the air on or stood in the door and got some fresh air. Fresh air. My son is on going to Walmart to do me a pickup today, and I got some sketch arts, some sketch paper and some charcoal coloring pencils coming. I want to do some art. I feel like, you know, that would help me a little bit too. So I could have started writing. I could have cut the air on or stood in the door and got fresh air. I could have also had a cold bottle of water in the refrigerator and drunk it, because that has brought me back a lot of times back to reality. I did try playing the guitar, but the guitar didn't work for me, so wrong way. I'm trying to get back in the green, because just in case if I decide to edit, you know, it'll be a lot easier to do. Okay, I could have drunk cold water. What's else? Something else I could have done. We are 16 minutes in. I don't want this video longer than 20 minutes. I could have rearranged my thoughts. Okay, because I was having faulty thinking. I had no proof that there would be any more deaths from corona. And on top of that, I don't hold the future in my hand, but God does. And I have to trust God that I will wake up. Okay, that was it. Okay, so rearranging my thoughts. Instead of saying, I hope nobody else dies, I could have said, God is protecting us all. And prayed. I could have prayed. I could have prayed the prayer of protection. But y'all know, if I was not waiting on, if it did not take so doggone long to load these videos, y'all know I would break this down for you and go through like every step by step what I do whenever I do. I rarely have to do this now. Like before I used to have to do it every day for anxiety, but now I probably do it like once or twice a month. But if this video would not take so long to load to YouTube, I would let the video be longer. I mean, you know, it is my channel, so I would just do what I want to do with it. But having said that, on that loading part, I ain't about all that. Okay, so my other thought was, are there going to be more deaths? I could have went back, and instead of trying to predict the future, I could have just prayed on that too. So stop predicting the future. Stop trying to predict the future. Instead, pray. Pray or do some Tai Chi. I could have got up and done some Tai Chi. And Lord knows, it was like I was stuck there. I was just glued to that phone like this. Like, really into it. Like, look. Just into it like that, okay? Okay, so I could have put the phone down. Good answer. Could have put the phone down. Could have cut the phone off. That's what I meant. Because y'all, cell phones trigger me. Cell phones trigger me when I'm on them for it's not the fact that I be on it, but it's notification sounds or a trigger for me. If I hear a notification sound or the phone ring or a vibration, it like sends my body signals haywire. Okay, so I could have cut the phone off. I did not. And next time, don't watch it, or either limit my time at watching it. So limit my time watching videos like that. Or don't watch it or read it. Because y'all, sometimes that stuff gets stuck in your mind. It's like a spirit, just a stubborn spirit that's just stuck. And if you don't get up and identify these things, you don't address these things, you're going to be stuck with it. And then that ain't going to feel good. So with my symptoms that I was having, what I could have done differently with those, because I'm going to go ahead and wind this down. What I could have done differently with the shortness of breath is I have an oximeter. So I could have checked. I could have checked my oxygen rate, but I didn't do it. And that would have calmed my nerves to let me know, hey, you got 100% oxygen. Okay? And then with the feelings of agitated and the restless and stuff, Tai Chi, could have done the Tai Chi. And y'all, let me tell y'all something. I'm not perfect. And I'm not, I would say I'm not perfect when it comes down to solving anxiety. And sometimes when you can help others, people be like, well, if you can help others, you can help yourself. You know all this, then why are you going through that? And I'm going to tell you why. Because you can't stop what life is giving you. You can't take back what life is giving you. But what you can do is do the best you can to get through it, to manage it, to pray it away. And just fight against it until one day you wake up and you ain't dead. You ain't had anxiety in a while. It's a work in progress. You just have to keep working at it. Okay, so what I could have did about those symptoms, the feelings, was actually change my feelings. I could have started speaking better. I could have started speaking life to people that are living. I could have for the feeling of lonely, I could have went to the scripture and found where Jesus is with us at all times, and he will never leave nor forsake us. For the restless feeling, I had medication here. I could have went on and took my medication since nothing else was working at the time. So let us not forget medication. Sometimes if we need it, we just got to take it. And I could have done that medication, but I forgot all about it. I mean, once you go, there are different levels to anxiety. And if you can catch it while you're in the thought process of it, you're going to do better than catching it once you're going up to the higher levels of anxiety. Like when you get way up here, it's hard to bring it down. But if you get it while it's trying to grow and stop it at the thoughts, then you can pretty much manage it. But once it goes so far up, you do have to take that medication. Like my medication is prescribed as needed, 100 milligrams of trazodone as needed. So I think that's about it. And I think I do feel a lot better since I wrote this out. I mean, now I got something to look at, and just really trust God with it. And when I say trust God, I mean knowing that God, I'm in his care at all times. I'm in his care at all times because I'm his child, and he don't leave us. He don't leave us unless we want to be left. And sometimes he don't even leave us then. But I should have wrote this stuff out last night, and I may have felt a lot better. So you see,